Hello there, everybody. Welcome to my recommended sets match against Folivora. We're now in the elimination stage, which there are 8 people in. So I guess if we win this, we'll go to the top 4. The format is first to 3.5. It's basically the same as like the championship, Shuffle It Championship. The difference here being that if it goes to game 7 and you tie, the second player doesn't win. You have it go. You keep playing until somebody wins. This is a pretty brutal board, to be honest. I think I'd totally agree with the Youngwinch opening. Cursing looks like just a pain to deal with here. I think you still buy a silver over a merchant on the open, though I think after that you're probably willing to take the merchants. I'm going to take a remodel here. It's just going to be rough all around. We'll see how the cursing comes out, but I don't know that there's a lot to play around. Artisan, obviously, quite good. There's certainly time to build up some draw. Because of Fairgrounds in particular, but beyond that, there's not maybe a lot to do. So this could either be, I think we just go with the lab. Obviously, it like increases the chance of collision a little bit, but that's fine. See if they go for a merchant or if they take another farming village. I don't really love the second farming village. You have 3, I think you do just buy a merchant. Seems pretty easy. Workshop looks pretty bad. So I would buy merchant if I were Folivora. I don't like the silver too much. Okay. I guess I'm going to take yet another lab. Okay, our remodel unfortunately misses the other estate. It's not actually clear that we want to play it. I'm going to take a farming village. Maybe should have been a merchant. They're all about the farming villages, which I simply don't understand. Not this many. I mean, I think they're a fine card to have, but why do you need 4 farming villages? Or 3, I guess they have 3. Before a merchant. I mean, it's the Bane and it's good. I mean, it gives you some money. They have silvers. Very confusing to me. I think the workshop, again, I think the workshop was pretty bad, but we'll see. Doing quite well. Why did they get their merchant? I guess it's a horse trade. It's not the merchant. I think they're just a little over terminal. I didn't find silver, which is sad, but whatever. I'm gonna take a farming village here. They've certainly got to play the remodel a lot more than me. I would have been more interested in a second remodel before the horse treasure workshop. Still farming villages. They're getting some use out of the filtering though there. Horse Trader seems like such more of a late game card than taking one at this point. These draws are a little sad. We may end up with a 3 pile pretty soon here. I was quite a bit ahead if I had, maybe not quite a bit ahead. I was a little bit ahead if I had found labs sooner here. But that's okay. At this rate, we'll certainly 3 pile on curses, farming village, and laboratories. There's almost no way. There's basically no shot that that doesn't happen. Well, on something, I guess we could also 3 pile. I guess it's possible the curses get blocked a whole bunch and we 3 pile on merchants, farming villages, and laboratories. That's also a possibility. Certainly the laboratories will go. I really still don't fully get the insistence on taking farming villages over merchants over and over again here. But it is what it is. I would probably... second artisan maybe feels a little greedy. Not sure. For a little, and I could get a market. How much money do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could get a market. That might be better than a lab. Of course, we could also play the young witch and see if we draw another farming village. Okay, well that sucks. We can just buy province also. Do you get to block? Which I don't think that's crazy at all. I sort of like that. It didn't work out, but I think I kind of like what I did there. This is unfortunately looking like a pretty good turn for folivora. And I don't know that I have enough drawn here to get through into something good. It's mostly coppers down here. I'm sure we're at 4-point fair rounds. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm folivora is, well, they have all the bottom row. They have 1, 2, 3 of the top rows. They're at 8, 10-ish, 10, 11. Actually, I think I'm the only one with an estate, so this may be a market for them. Farming village is weird to me, but maybe it's just they have a young witch. That was kind of a strange gain to me, but yeah, okay, so we bottom decked all these farming villages. I don't even know if I want to trigger this shuffle, to be perfectly honest. There's not a whole lot of upside to doing so. With the labs out and stuff. They buy a merchant. I think, again, pushing the piles as folivora there is pretty weird, right? I mean, they're not ahead. Man, I am not doing a good job or having good fortune drawing the farming villages with stuff at all. But like lowering there is pretty scary. I don't know why you would buy a merchant at that point. Unfortunately, didn't find a farming village. Otherwise, I likely would have been able to get a market there. I'm not sure. They probably take a points lead here. Though it may open them up to some scary looking pile stuff, depending on whether they have a merchant in hand on their next turn. Well, that's not that much. Never mind. I guess I don't have any more gain. Well, no, I have the remodel. No, I don't have the remodel. I drew everything dead. I also don't have, I only have the 1 silver, right? Yeah, this is gonna be, I don't know. Okay, they get a block. This is just gonna end up being kind of messy at the end here. As far as Bane stuff goes. What price points people hit. Where the labs end up in the shuffles. Where the I guess I could have remodeled Artisan into Province also that one turn. That might have been better than what I did, though not clear to me. Alright, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I am at 13 uniques as well, so there's also some possibility for upping the fairgrounds as a point angle here, depending. Folivora has also got to be very close to it. Maybe it even gets there if they take like a... Well, that's a little scary. Folivora. That's not a great Jester hit. That was a risk of the Jester, though. I guess it could have also maybe hit Curse. I don't care. As long as they do everything else, I'm fine with it. They have their... They do keep having the horse traders in hand when I play the thing. As long as they have even like a... Yeah, remodels, I'm sure, sufficient to get something and buy the curse. The Jester was a little... I would have maybe gone with the market in Folivora's place. It still would have gotten them the $1. Maybe it wouldn't have gotten them the money. They could have also remodeled something. Would have worked just the same. I'm hitting okay and nothing's happening, so I guess we're gonna refresh. See what happens. Oops, that's not anything. That's not a name. Do 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 do. Okay. Well, that one ended up pretty close, that last game. I think it could have gone. I mean, there were shuffles after they got the farming village where I win. Maybe not this most likely, but they were possible. So, let me update the score. All right. So I get to start now. We have Rabble. I mean, a lot of draw. I mean, probably a big bank thing. I guess the question is, which trashing stuff do you go for? Do you open a trasher, or do you try and get Citadel more quickly? Which would probably be Patron trying to buy treasure. Capitalism hits a lot of things, though I don't know how much it matters. Probably matters most for Patron. I guess it matters a lot for bank, actually. Take it all back. You certainly do need to trash, though. This is bad. Well, this I mean 4 is a lot better than 3 here, so I don't really want to hit 3. I'll take one more silver, but I can believe that you're supposed to just open a trasher. Like, that wouldn't surprise me, but I don't really like investment all that much. I guess investment is also worth a ton of points potentially. Folivora draw is pretty bad with your investment. They still haven't hit a state trash with the investment, which is really unfortunate for them. I do hit Citadel here, which is really nice. I'll just take the key and hit Citadel. And then if we find the rabble, we'll just probably win, to be honest. It's going to get pretty out of hand, I think. I hope so. Maybe even do the hideout over the rabble. Then here we for sure just buy another rabble. Oh, that is brutal. That's crazy. I might lose off that. I was so far ahead, but that's the worst possible thing that could happen there. That's insane, actually. Oh well. That's incredibly unfortunate. If it happens again, I will just actually cry. Okay, it didn't happen again. We should be okay then. We're gonna draw deck and go like Grand Market Rabble. Then maybe next turn Bank Capitalism. Something like that. Now I don't really care about the key. What do we have? We do already have the 3 buys. Yeah, I think it is over. That seems pretty fair. Well, I mean, my draws are very good. I don't know. Well, okay. I mean, their thing with the investment hitting no estates over and over was really bad, really unlikely. So that part was probably actually the biggest thing. It's like we're playing another Renaissance. Sure. Full of projects. This is a big inventor thing. I'm gonna open replace, I guess, since I have the 5-2. I think the 3-4 is a little bit better, but the 5-2 is fine. I think Steward is just a little nice. Like Research Steward looks pretty nice. Depends on when I draw the replace and what I draw it with, but our plot's also pretty good there. Maybe I'll take a plot here. And I guess you put, what do you put on top here? Either Steward or you just put an Inventor or you put a Mining Village. I mean, Mining Village is kind of the silliest. There's always this chance of collision, which is a little sad. You also don't have to... You don't have to rush down anything here. You know, it's just all about... Well, that one... Or getting thin and then doing that one turn. And it can be scepters too. Like, it doesn't have to be... Inventors. And there's gain and play with Scepter, Scholar stuff. This is a nice kingdom. I don't know when you get everything though. But There's definitely some interesting stuff you could be doing with Scholar quite early on. How do you do it though? If you have scepters, you have to have quite a few scepters already to like net anything out of it. They blew up the plot. I think here I'm gonna top deck Inventor and buy Acting Troop. Should probably just buy a scepter. Scholar's okay. I would buy a scepter. We didn't find the... Well, we could draw it, I guess, if we want. We could also just top deck something with the... Nice. I have a mining village, right? Surely you just play it. Folivora is definitely ahead. Probably ahead enough to like guarantee a win from this position, but not necessarily straightforward to do it. And of course, you can technically just draw 3 Inventor, 4, you know. You can draw a fully dead turn, it's just pretty unlikely. And there's not really anything to do but play and oh, you could trash. I could believe that. Yeah, I could believe that. I don't. Not 100% sure that that's correct, but I can see it anyway. They're gonna have a very good turn. So do I? No. This is a bad reshuffle for me. Maybe it'll work out, but it looks a little scary. And I don't get to trash the copper. Well, I guess I could plot. I don't think they can win here, but they can get pretty far. They'd have to draw at the start. That's a little weird. That they're in that same position as me. They don't have any mining villages, I guess, in hand. They just bottom deck their mining villages. That's terrible. If that, I mean, surely you would have played one, right? I don't know. The real question for me is there a spot where you need to buy fleet? Because I don't. It's a little bit of defensive against like a 3 pile, but I mean, it's hard to do. It's kind of hard to have the money to do it. You would have to do it earlier. For sure. Because now, I mean, you just can't even do it. Yeah, there, I don't think you do the steward. I think you just scholar away stuff and do a little gain and play here. Like I would have sceptered an inventor for a scepter, and then done a scepter as a scholar. You play the coppers out and play scepter. Well, it actually doesn't matter, but play a scepter as a scholar, and then this is slightly scary because you could pretty easily dud here, unless you get another. Okay, there you go. You get some. I would have. I don't know. It's a bit weird to me. For sure, on my turn, I'd probably just need to press and see if. Oh, they don't have any villagers either. That's very weird. It's pretty scary in that game or in that turn with no villagers. I don't know that I would have bought those cards. I would have bought a mining village or something. I mean, they gained an acting troupe, but like that's a little, you know, it's a little scary. This isn't great. I wonder if I trash it so I can buy a fleet. They may just like empty the provinces. Honestly. I don't have any. Just thinking. Gonna hurt myself if I do too much of that, but. We'll have. I'm gonna get the. What do we put on top here? Should I get an acting troupe? What should I get? It's like nobles. It's like between. They're just gonna have to score a lot. I could province even, I guess. I mean, I need to be able to finish on my turn. If they don't fleet, which I don't know that they can. Maybe they can. What's good here? All right. But they maybe are gonna try for the fleet also. Ooh, they have to play that in Scholar awfully early. I'm really surprised the acting troupe was played for that. Oh, I guess Scepter can make money. Sort of forgot that. I did forget that. Bit beyond sort of. I forget Scepter can just be chosen to play for cash. Yeah, they don't have an inventor down. I don't really know what. I don't know what happened. To be honest, I don't know what any of the hands were. It's really hard to get a feel for what went down there without. They do have villagers now. How many scepters did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I wait. I mean, are they likely to get? How many provinces are they? Like, I have. Dang it! Wait. No, I gain more. So plays a scepter, plays a scepter, plays a scepter. I have 5. So it is 5/5 on the things, and the inventors are 3/3, I suppose. And then, so I could wait here, I guess. It's more of a question of can anybody get 5-ish of the provinces? Well, you'd have to be ending while you did that, because otherwise, then who knows what's happening. You'd think this would be like pretty clear. I don't know how much they're gonna get when they go. I guess I could have. No, I didn't have the actions for that. What's my last card? Another scepter? That would have been better to draw than one of the terminals. Can't get... I don't know if they're going to have action problems or not. I mean, their main issue is probably draw, to be honest. I don't know if they can do 6. Maybe 6 isn't that. Maybe 6 I can recover. But they also get a fleet turn is the thing. So... I'm not really sure they can do 6, but... That's not a great start for them. I don't think it is anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. This, of course, is pretty okay for me. I think I'll probably just go for... We'll have to see what the provinces left are, but... Obviously, you know, if they don't... If I end up with 5 or 6 of the provinces, that should just be half the VP. One would guess. And I have some replace stuff, which should be... The replace stuff should be pretty good point scoring on the fleet turn in particular. Like, I can potentially just kill a bunch of... They still their steward. I don't know how many provinces this gets them. It may be enough. But anyway, what I was saying is, like, if I get a big enough hand with scepters and replacing like the inventors, I can turn them into duchies and nobles for 3 and 4 point swings, which is quite good. To do on a fleet turn if the provinces, you know, if the provinces aren't there. The nice thing for folivora here is that they may just have saved their, they may be able to, well, the game probably ends, they probably get their plot on their fleet turn, which could be nice. So I think they still have 1 more inventor, maybe 2 in hand, and then they can empty provinces. and like buy a duchy, and then they still have their, or buy a nobles, and then they still have their fleet turns, or their fleet turn. And in fact, they did get to take their fleet turn first, so the duchies and stuff may just be gone by then. So this is looking a little dicey for me. If I have I could just be wrong about the splits as well, some points, but I think the issue, well, they could get into an they could get into an action problem for sure on their fleet turn. Even with the plot, they could totally get into an action problem, but and so could I. let's be clear. Yeah, and I'm only getting a fleet turn. So I don't think I think I'll probably lose here, but this has got to be just all scepters, right? Could I have ended it on my turn? Like, piled out. Not province ended it, but 3 piled on my turn. If so, I probably should have done that. I don't know that I could have. But if I could have, that would have been better. I gained 2 provinces. I guess, do they get to take their fleet turn first? How does fleet work? Okay. Well, sure, I'll draw 3. I don't think the money is likely to matter, but we can remove a lot of the points. Which has got to be worth something. We can find the well, we didn't even find it. This sucks so much. We bottom deck the acting troop. I know I have an acting troop, and I think maybe even another mining village, though I'm not sure about that. Well, that totally sucks, actually. Okay, well, we do need to play an inventor. And obviously at this stage, we at least found the scepter. What do we have down here? Like maybe another nobles into that acting troop. It's like that, something like, it might be mining village. That sucks really bad though. Okay. So we need to be able to we need to be able to gain the province with the inventor play. We need to lower these enough. We don't actually get to do another. I don't know that there's going to be enough points left for folivora. I'm not sure why they didn't take the provinces rather than this pile out. Because there just aren't enough points now. 12, 19. And if you got enough, like you could get some replaces. Like if you gain a replace, you can go curse to a state once at least. Is a little helpful, but I don't know that it's enough. They should have taken the provinces. Maybe they still lose, but you can't leave all those points for me. Because obviously I can get them. Like, I have my plot and I had this stuff. So, I'm not sure on that one. Okay, so we have I think I'll go Enchantress Potion here. I think University looks quite good. I mean, at the end of the day, this is going to be a pretty big engine. There's quite a few ways to score here. You don't necessarily have to go Enchantress Potion in the opening. You can go something else, but I don't know if T-Mute is any good here. Probably not. I mean, it's T-Mute, but you might be able to find a spot for it at some point. That's not completely out of the question. I think I would consider APO first, but I do think getting Apprentice is valuable enough that I would rather just go ahead and start on it. And also, there aren't a lot of reasons here after you've bought like 2 universities, probably something like that. There aren't a lot of reasons not to just take city quarters. I think I'll just buy the one shot. We get the good luck here. Take one more university. We just get another apprentice. And before the shuffle here, now that we have, I think city quarter looks fine at this point. Buy another enchantress. Nice apprentice draws for me. This is actually okay. I mean, it's a little sad, but we have like double uni city core. Okay, it was pretty sad to bottom deck all of that, but I can't really complain right now. The shuffles are going much better for me than for folivora. By quite a bit. So, they do have 3 universities, which I don't think is actually all that helpful. Once you have a couple, you can just crown the ones you have, and then who cares? You know, is sort of how that's going to go. I'm not triggering a shuffle next turn necessarily, so I may just take Farmer's Market here. This is 2 apprentices, and I'll probably just trash the potion. I'm gonna... I think it's 2. Yeah, I'm gonna just play the 1 and then blow up the potion. And then live my dream. I think it's pretty good here to get... I may crown the enchantress. That's kind of a question, right? Would be nice to get the draw. Now the question is, do we take something like a gold? Do we really care about activating the encampments? No, not really. Payload here should probably mostly be Farmer's Market. So, well, gold's not crazy, but they did find, well, maybe they already had the enchantress. I say find enchantress. They maybe just already had the enchantress in hand. Okay. What do I want to... Maybe we just regain... I think we do the enchantress, actually. Now this one I'm not as sure of. Because how do we draw whatever it is we... There's another apprentice though. So again, we can either... There are quite a few choices. Do we do... Do we crown the Enchantress again, or do we crown the... How much money are we going to have? 2, 5, 11. We're going to have $4. So we can buy a couple encampments. Okay. Interesting. Let's go for consistency. Or we could go farmers market city quarter. I'll blow up anything with apprentice that I need to get a turn here. It must have dudded. Oh, it's certainly ahead though. I think with a turn there, they maybe could have still been in it. I mean, it was going to be really tough. If they don't have a good turn there and I kick off, then definitely at that point, it looks impossible. Alright, so if I win this game, or I win any more games, it's over. We have alchemy allies. Owl. Good old double owl, they call it. This particular set combination. Expansion. So, what's good here? I don't know what's good here. I'm gonna open modify, I think. Either modify or just open the apprentice, I guess. I do like the potion stuff. I don't feel like I have to open it. It's gonna be... Board will probably be a little bit awkward. What's better, apprentice or modify? I'm gonna go with modify. Remain somewhat unconvinced. What do you keep in hand? What is actually better to keep in hand? There's probably an answer. I mean, surely it's copper. Oh, we have a bunch. We can do a bunch. Oh. We can do several. I could do all of it if I wanted to be that person. I don't think I want to be that person. So maybe we do 2 coppers. And at that point, you don't really need to do an estate, do you? Could have done more, of course. What do I take here? Like, I think I'm just going to modify into potion. We've got estate, modify. How do the barbarians look? I mean, certainly brutal with scrying pool, potentially. Okay, this wasn't really what I wanted, but it's alright. Kane's curse, okay. Am I a student? I don't really love the students. I need to get... What's the next hand have? Do I want 5? Does 5 matter for the next hand? Or do I just want to buy like an importer or something? Do I want more modifies? This state also a possibility. Oh, they trigger on me. That's fine. Oh, I really dislike the golem. Golem's so bad, in my opinion. I really don't like the golem. I don't care about setting something aside here. I just don't like it. I don't think it's correct. You can get alchemists and protect your potion cards, and then if somehow they hit them at some point, they just become scrying pools. That can be nice. But otherwise, this is just kind of the thing with the pools. Maybe take alchemist here. We need to buy a merchant camp or gain one some way or another. I'm a little bit jealous of the importer. Don't like the students. Why do they have so many? This was just a terrible draw. This is modify, potion, estate, barbarian, something like that. Lost cards. They don't have a scrying pool anymore. Yikes. I guess if you can uncover the liches, there's a lot of nice lich stuff to do. Maybe that's worth having a student for. You don't find their potion. That's what hurts though, is not having the potion. Maybe they'll draw it. No. Surely this is okay. It's not like the best shuffle, but there's an alchemist in there. And so it's not the worst shuffle to trigger. Do we get Scrying Pool yet? Do we get Golem? I don't like Golem. I've said that a few times, but I don't. Okay. Do I want an importer? My gains are my problem right now. Like, clearly. So I have to get some stuff, but it's not super clear when or what to get. I think now we can do a pool. Do we care about playing modify terminally? Probably not. Golem, oh man. I really don't like Golem. They have a lot of importers. The Gallerias are kind of weird. To get the gains off of them is a little odd. Do I kill their potion? I mean, they can just regain it. So I don't necessarily have great odds of hitting something meaner than that. So maybe I just leave it. We just need 6, right? We're probably going Merchant Guild pool. Or 5 or 6, whatever it is. That wasn't the hit I desired. But it is the hit I got, so. Say no. Oh no, I lose Emerging Camp. That was the merchant camp I always wanted. Well, we'll just repeat, I guess. May go double merchant camp. I'm surprised they didn't just gain that with the importer back when, but who knows? Should we get another merchant camp now? Via modify? I really need to get... I really need... What I slightly need. I'm not sure what I need. Guess we'll do that. It may not be like the best thing in the world for me ever. They do get these merchant camps out of it, which is kind of okay for them. Maybe you should have bought double merchant camp last time. Should I get student? I have a copper, they have a copper. They have one curse. Actually, they may have another copper. May have two coppers. They'll go merchant camp pool, presumably. Seems pretty good. Yeah, you kind of just have to take the good hits if you hit the good hits, right? There's no reason to be like super picky about it. I wonder if it's worth it. I wonder if the merchant camps are just more valuable. Since they can run out. I don't care about that. Not present. That's brutal, but it happened to folivora along in a far more important way than it happened to me, so I don't have much room to complain. They do have these importers, which maybe could be nice in a dodgy dancing situation. So we need to make sure we don't really get to that point. They take a second barbarian, which I guess is fine. This was a little bit unfortunate, right? Just because we lost that one pool. So do we try to draw on? I mean, it was definitely not great, but this part was okay, of course. If you didn't find the conjurer, there's a scrying pool down there. The order, that actually was not great for me. I don't know why I play the merchant camps first there, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna kill one of mine. Oh no, they discarded it. They were hunting for bigger and better things, I guess. I would have left the merchant camp. I would have just taken a merchant camp kill there if I had been folivora, but I'm probably gonna be willing to green a little bit. Can probably replace that. Well, I can definitely replace it, but there's definitely something to be said for greening here while you can mill. I mean, we have good milling capabilities, so. A lot of the other stuff you might be interested in doing is hard. It's just hard with the actions being blown up. They don't have student anymore. That was one other thing that was maybe potentially helpful, is they could have some control over when the sorcerer and the lich came out. But there's got to be limits. Like, they don't have that many actions. This feels like we're just gonna run some piles down some way, I guess. Do I want to kill modify, or do I want to hunt for something? They have a lot of modifies. I'm gonna hunt a little bit. That is not particularly exciting. I probably should have just taken the... Never mind. Never mind. Okay, we've got... Our terminal space is certainly limited here. In fact, I'm not sure it's going to make a whole lot of sense to do anything but just take the terminals I can get here pretty easily. Or play these terminals in hand, rather. Like it feels pretty good. Actually, this feels similar to the other thing they add, but I won't do it if they don't want me to. It probably will be fine anyway. Why did I top deck an alchemist? Oh, right, because now it's whatever. Whatever, one's fine. I guess they didn't answer at all, so... It's okay. I'm losing a little bit of terminal space here. That's all right. I don't really understand the importer buys, but... Just gonna lower. Which may be a mistake. I mean, my draw was so likely to fire off anyway. It wasn't a big deal. Oh, I can just win now, can't I? Well, I could have anyway. I didn't even need that either. I could have modified. Anyway, we can end it now. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be advancing on to whoever we play next. I don't think it's, as far as I'm aware, I think this is maybe the first one that got played. I could be wrong, but yep. there we are. Take care, everybody.